Whether you're in the market for a new home or already shopping around for a new home coming up in the new year, whatever that might be, you're wondering about what's the best way to go about getting your next mortgage. Well, the common question that comes up is it just easier to work with the bank that you already have a relationship with? Will you get a better deal there? Is it just a better experience all around? What are the benefits of that? Or should you go out and shop around and work with someone like Cross Country Mortgage, someone outside of your bank? And today we'll answer that question for you coming up on the Smart Mortgage Show. Welcome into the Smart Mortgage Show YouTube channel. Glad to have you here. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. We answer all kinds of questions from you or questions that come into Cross Country Mortgage and Bill's team there in the office. We try to bring those to the show and to answer those for you as well, and hope to continue educating you as whether you're in the market for a new home, you're refinancing, whatever that might be. We cover a wide range of mortgage topics here on the channel, so please hit subscribe for us. All right, Bill, the question I want to answer today, or have you answer for us, anybody that gets into the market for a new home, starts to shop around for a new mortgage, I think it's only natural to say, well, I bank with whatever bank it is, whatever branch it is. Wouldn't it just be easier to sit down with them and just do business with them? We already have an existing relationship. So let's answer that today.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So a lot of times when I start talking to a new customer, they will ask, how does your company work? Why would I work with a company like yours versus the local bank, right? Wells Fargo or Chase Manhattan and I always say that I could work for Wells Fargo or Chase or TD Bank, which is big in our area, or Citizens Bank. And I choose to work in this format for a lot of reasons. And essentially, I would say when you go to a local bank, and what we mean by that is it's the place where you have a checking account and a savings account. It's a depository institution. So first and foremost, that's what they are. They're a depository institution. And they offer a lot of different products. So they offer insurance, investing through financial advisors. They offer savings accounts, checking accounts, business savings. And so they're very diversified, which really means, from my experience, that they're not really great at any one thing. So in my world, because I wanted to have the best products, the best terms, the best offering, the best process for anybody who works with us, what I've come to see is that if you work for one of the depository institutions, it's very hard to maintain relationships with customers or realtors because the process is very unpredictable. And here, we close on time every time. We make certain that when we give you a pre-approval, it's airtight, it's solid gold. We're providing numbers for you before you make offers. Our rates and terms are very similar to the bank. The process is so much easier. So there really is a lot of reason. There's a lot to be desired. If you go to the local bank or the depository institution, the mortgage experience will be a completely different animal.
Are the lending options any different working with you who specializes in this versus a bank? Or are they similar?
Very different. So we have a vast array of product. So since mortgages are all we do, that we got to be pretty good in that space. So we offer lots of different loan types. So anywhere from just your standard 30-year fixed to ARMs to temporary buy-down products to home equity lines to construction loans to non-QM loans, which would be like loans that they're just a near miss to the regular Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. There's a couple characteristics that don't fit, but this loan will still provide the financing. So from a product standpoint, we've got a much different offering. And one other piece is just even on the standard Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, regular conventional, you go to the local bank and they've got a ton of overlays. So they said, okay, Fannie and Freddie's rules are A, B, and C. We're going to add these extra EFG rules. We don't have any overlays. We write rate to Fannie and Freddie's guidelines, which makes it easier for you to get a loan here.
When I think about it too, banks have a lot on their plate. You kind of mentioned that they're doing a lot of different things, right? And they're helping a lot of different clients. I would imagine the communication is a little bit smoother, a little bit more consistent, I would guess, working with you versus a bank.
Yeah, so communication, Ben, really big point. So we actually just won a transaction that was about 2 months in the making with another lender that was a depository institution where they would not communicate. The loan is a really good loan. There's nothing wrong with the loan. But because the lender would not communicate with any of the parties and barely communicated with the buyer, but would not communicate with any of the realtors got really concerned. They got very uncomfortable. They got spooked, and they brought the deal to me and said, look, it appears that there's all these problems. Can you solve them? Well, I got through the loan, and there really weren't many problems, but I was really, first order of business was to communicate all of that to everybody and to continue to communicate throughout the process. So sometimes if there's a lack of communication, there's a perceived fear or perceived concerns that aren't even real. But if you won't communicate with people, your mind starts to wander to different places. And this, we see this all the time. It's a really great point.
I think the last thing I think about too, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but just by learning from you over the last year or two and just kind of hear some of the things you say, to me, I would also venture to guess that, one of the benefits of working with a cross country or a mortgage lender specifically is just that you're able, you truly try to sit down and understand the entire picture with someone, right? You're not just trying to get them into a product and move on, right? You're trying to understand what their goals are for the future, not just for a home, but what their overall financial goals are, and trying to figure out the best product that fits within all of that.
Yeah, so fantastic point. A lot of the depository institutions have what we affectionately refer to as application takers.
Yeah.
Name, address, social, email address. Here's your quote. When you get under contract, let me know. What we do is we go through a process of discovery. We want to learn all about what are your short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals from an investment and financial perspective. Where are you today, and what is your ultimate goal of getting into this house? All the steps in between as to how we can guide you and point you in the right direction so that you have the best outcome possible. We look at this as it's the largest transaction financially you're ever going to make in your life. It's the largest debt encumbrance that you'll most likely ever have, at least for 99.99% of the population. So with that in mind, we need to take great care. We need to understand more than just name, address, and birth date, social, and just wing across a loan estimate without any explanation. We need to have a consultation. So every borrower or every customer that we have, we go through a consultation to go over every fee, the loan product, why we chose it. Does it make sense? Do we need to adjust it? How do we, go up, down with loan amount? How do we change the variables to make it fit your scenario perfectly?
Well, the good news is you don't have to take our word for it. You can get a free 15-minute mortgage loan consultation with Bill and the team at Cross Country Mortgage. And Bill, it's a good opportunity for someone that has maybe spoken to their bank, but just want to see what else is out there. They can sit down with you. You can begin that process and start answering some of their questions, and they can kind of see for themselves maybe what some of those differences are.
Yeah, even if you've spoken with your bank and you're looking for a second opinion, give us a call. Our goal is to provide you with a lot of good information. We are not hard sell. We're not going to try and force you to do anything you don't want to do. But I think that just sometimes the conversation itself can be eye-opening to get people to want to take the next steps, and the process has a very different feel to it. So usually after 10, 15 minutes of conversation, people know what we offer and what the difference is, and a lot of times that makes the difference.
We can call right now to start that process. Just give Bill a call, 484-352-4151, or check out the show notes or description here. We'll have all the contact information. You can get in touch with Bill that way as well. But we appreciate the questions as always. If there's something on your mind you'd love us to address, send it to us via the website, smartmortgageshow.com, or leave a comment as well. We check those and we'll try to feature those on a future episode. Bill, thanks for the time as always. We'll talk again soon.
Thank you, Ben.
This program is for informational purposes only. Please consult a qualified professional before taking any action. Bill Litton is a loan advisor and regional president with Cross Country Mortgage, NMLS number 147060.